Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore, May 7, 1861 to August 7, 1941. Literary background of India. Indian poetry and Indian literature in general has a long history dating back to Vedic times. Poetry in foreign languages such as Persian and English also has a strong influence on Indian poetry. The poetry reflects diverse spiritual traditions within India. In particular, many Indian poets have been inspired by mystical experiences. Poetry is the oldest form of literature and has a rich written and oral tradition. Rabindranath Tagore was born at Calcutta, Bengal Presidency, British India. He is the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Tagore introduced new prose and verse forms and the use of colloquial language into Bengali literature. He wrote over 1,000 poems, 8 volumes of short stories, almost 2 dozen plays and playlets, 8 novels, and many books and essays on philosophy, religion, education, and social topics. About the poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear is a thought-provoking poem by Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. He is often referred to as the Bard of Bengal. It is one of the best poems in the anthology called Gitanjali, which was published in 1912 and won prestigious Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. When Tagore composed this poem, his mind was confined by the chains of slavery like any other common citizens of India because India was under the clutch of the British rule where freedom was like daydreaming. This poem is written in the form of prayer to God, the universal father figure, the God Almighty, the true bearer of freedom. The poem, with its inspiring lines, elaborates Tagore's vision of a new enlightened India. He urges God throughout the poem with his mysterious concept of freedom from the struggle for awakening to his countrymen. Where the mind is without fear. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Where knowledge is free. Where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Where words come out from the depth of truth. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Where the mind is without fear is a pre-independent poem in which the poet sincerely urges to God to awake his fellow beings for the realization that the essential need to live in a free and united country. He wants his countrymen to awake and enjoy the life of full dignity and honor. His countrymen would not be superstitious or believers of blind faith, rather than they would lead the life of enlightened and educated people. He wishes to the people to be honest, open-minded and industrious. Then only they would stretch their arms towards perfection and the nation can actually achieve the apex of success. They need to use their reasons over their blind faiths and must be ready to accept new thoughts and ideas. He requests God to free his country from manipulation, corruption, and slavery. He yearns for an awakened country where there would be freedom of the mind and expression of ideas. The poem invokes the deep patriotic feelings. Our country is subjugated by castes, creed, superstitious beliefs, and biased ideas. Tagore earnestly appeals to God that a country would be where people's head is high and knowledge is free. His country would not be divided and fragmented into pieces due to their narrow thoughts. They should express their words not from the mind but from the depth of truth and heart. He urges God to guide his countrymen for moral awakening, to fight for their rights against British inhuman rules, liberate them from the fear of oppression, repression, and subjugation, unshackle the chains of fear, and direct them to the paths of progress and prosperity. They should be confident, not confined. There would not be injustice and inequality in the country on the basis of caste, creed, and gender. Countrymen should be unprejudiced and open-minded, accepting the new challenges and changes. They should lead their lives of decency and dignity. To conclude, where the mind is without fear is a poem in which Tagore reveals his personal quest for the divine and characterized by a variety of original themes, both in thought and expression. Therefore, this poem is a remarkable poem to a great extent which expresses the intensity of the feeling of freedom. His poem is universal in its appeal and envisions the heaven of freedom and happier future for mankind. Lines 1 and 2. The poet pledges to the Almighty that his country should be free from any fear of domination or forced compulsion. He wants that everyone in his country should be free to hold their heads high in dignity. He dreams of a nation where knowledge or education would be free, that is, education should not be restricted to the upper class only, but everybody should be free to acquire knowledge. The author wishes for a world which is not fragmented, that is, isolated by prejudices based on caste, creed, color, religion, or other baseless superstitions. Line 4. Prejudices and superstitions should not divide the people in groups and break their unity. Line 5. He wants a nation where people are truthful, not superficial, and words should come out from the depth of their hearts. The author talks about desire for a country where people would strive without getting tired to reach perfection, leaving behind prejudices and old traditions. Lines 7 to 9. The author wants the power of reason to dominate the minds of his countrymen. He does not want the stream of reason to be lost amongst outdated customs and traditions, and only that can direct the mind towards selfless thoughts and everlasting action. Lines 10 to 12. The author asks the Father, presumably God, to awaken his country into such a heaven of freedom. The implication or conclusion is, like the author Rabindranath Tagore, we should always aim for freedom, freedom of mind, speech, thought, belief, practice, and behavior, because these are the things that will mold us. The theme of the poem is that the poet desires peace and prosperity among his countrymen and prays that his countrymen might attain overall welfare and self reliance. Let us now see the figures of speech that have been used by Tagore in this poem. A few of them are imagery, alliteration, anaphora, synecdoche, metaphor, personification, and apostrophe. The imagery in this poetry is the picture of a free India. The poet dreamt of a country with no boundaries. He prays for the welfare of the country. Let us see some examples of alliteration in the poem. The head is held high. Here there is repetition of H sound. Tireless striving stretches. Repetition of S sound. Dreary desert sand of dead habit. Repetition of D sound. Freedom my father. Repetition of F sound. There is anaphora, that is repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses. The word where is being repeated at the beginning of all the clauses statements. Synecdoche, a figure of speech in which a part is made to represent the whole or vice versa. Country means the people of the country. Metaphor. Metaphor is a word or a phrase that is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. The big world is compared to many small rooms separated by narrow domestic walls. Words coming out from the depth of truth gives us the impression of a fountain or a spring on the comparative level. The clear stream of reason is a comparison between reason and a flowing stream. Dead habit that chokes the clarity of reason is compared to the dreary desert. Freedom is regarded as heaven. That is comparison of heaven as freedom. Personification. Personification is attribution of human characteristics to something non-human. Tireless striving, which is an abstract idea, has been assigned with a human aspect in stretches its arms. Another example of personification is the country is personified to be awake. Apostrophe. When the poet directs his speech to an abstract concept or person who is not physically present, it is called an apostrophe. Here, the poet uses Father, let my country awake. He addresses to God who is not physically present.